Alright, so I haven't made a video in like 3 weeks, and just clearing out this house, and houses getting sold, and family problems and whatnot that I don't want to get it too much into. But I just wanted to make a rant about projectors real quick. And why I'm pointing at the movies, I'll actually talk about that in a minute. So, with projectors versus TVs, one thing I've noticed, especially over the past few years, is that they're making more and more TVs that are above 65 inches. It used to be very rare to see 65 inches. Now it's more common, but now we're starting to see 98 and 99-inch TVs that are, of course, ridiculously expensive. We're talking sometimes upwards of 30 to 40 grand for a television. Meanwhile, aside from JVC and Sony, no one's making dedicated 4K chips. And Epson and Texas Instruments definitely have the money and resources to build these fucking things. But they don't seem to want to advance the sphere of home theater very much, apparently. And then the other fucking issue I have with projectors at the moment is, honestly, the push for smart features is fucking stupid, and I've railed against this in the past. Anyone who's seen my channel long enough, I have videos where I bought a Roku, and the Wi-Fi was dog shit. In fact, an old netbook card from an old Toshiba satellite worked better than what was in the fucking Roku. Just a ton of problems with the remote to the point where I snapped it in half. I've had issues with the Amazon Fire. I've had issues with Android. I've had issues with Apple. And it's just one of those things where I want to buy a box and try the features, and I don't want the features to be built into the fucking display, because I don't want to be in a situation where I find the display, whether it's a projector or TV, that meets my needs feature-wise, but then be forced into an ecosystem for smart features that I might not want to fucking use. And then there's the fact that, maybe they no longer make the projector or the television, and so it's not receiving updates anymore. But you want to use the latest updates. It's much easier to just go buy a new box than replace a television or a projector, especially a projector, because sometimes they can be more expensive than a TV. And it's just really fucking stupid that they're integrating the two, in my opinion. I do like what some of them are doing, like BenQ and Epson does in their 4000 lumen ultra short throw, where they include a dongle stick, so you don't have to use the added features. I think they should all do that, honestly, where it's all on a dongle stick, and if you don't want to use the dongle stick, you don't have to use it. I think that's a better way of approaching it if you're going to include smart features, because then people who want to use it can, and people like me who want nothing to do with built-in features can go that route. But the other fucking stupid thing I really hate about the projector scene, and there's a lot of videos on this on YouTube and all over the internet, is people who buy widescreen display screens. So the 2:4 screens. The 2:4 screens are really fucking stupid in my opinion. Now, I talked about this when I first got my Epson, which is 1000 lumens, and I still don't have a screen for it, and I'm probably not getting one anytime soon now that shit's happened and I have to move out. But comparing my Epson with my old Dell, the difference is my Epson is 16 by 9, my Dell was 16 by 10. So 16 by 10 is taller than 16 by 9. And what that does is absolutely nothing if you're watching movies or TV. But if you're watching old TV or playing old video games that are in 4 by 3 or 3 by 2, you're going to have a bigger display for those aspect ratios if you're using 16 by 10 projector and a 16 by 10 display or projector screen. And that's because the added height of 16 by 10 gives you a bigger image with 4 by 3 content. So if you're playing old Nintendo games, watching old TV, 16 by 10 is a much better way to go if you want the most bang for your buck for mixed use. And the reason why I advocate for buying a 16 by 9 or 16 by 10, especially 16 by 10 projector, is because you don't have to do anything except set it up, buy a 16 by 9 or 16 by 10 screen, whatever aspect ratio your projector is, and that's it. You don't have to fuck around with it like JVC and Sony, which are in 191, and you have to force it into 16 by 9 mode. And the reason why I really don't recommend getting CinemaScope is because if you are a cinephile and you love watching movies, you are going to be limited to what you can watch. And what I mean by that is, there are some movies, like They Live, and I can't remember which is taller, 135, not 135, 235 or 24. I don't remember off the top of my head what was taller, but there are some movies in 235. There are some movies in 2.4, and then there's movies like this that are in 1.851. And 1.851, if all you have is a 2.4 screen, is going to be too tall for that screen. It's shorter than 16 by 9, but it is very much too tall for a 2.4 screen. And Ferngully is also in 1.851. Jingle All the Way is also in 1.851. It's a much better theater experience, in my opinion. It's kind of like the IMAX movies where they add more height, honestly. Because it gets you a bigger image. There's more picture to it with 1.851. And then there's movies like Santa's Sleigh, which has the wrestler Jeff Goldberg, that are in 16 by 9. So, if you're just buying a projector to watch movies, you're not going to get the best experience buying a 241 screen or a CinemaScope screen, because there's going to be a lot of movies you can't watch, simply because the height of the movies far exceeds what your screen can handle. There's just too much height, and so it's gonna end up projecting most of the picture onto the fucking wall behind the screen. I honestly don't understand the fucking trend. As someone who loves watching movies, I do not understand the fucking trend of buying a dedicated 2.4 screen, because there are just so many movies that are good movies that just you can't watch on those fucking screens. I know I'm repeating myself, but I really need to emphasize that you cannot watch some of these movies on a 2.4 screen. It's just not going to fit. Again, I don't remember which is taller, 235 or 2.4. I'll have to check that, and I'll update you guys. But yeah, I'm rebuilding my collection. I gotta put that on pause. I gotta put a lot of things on pause. What was Baby Driver in? Some of these don't even tell you what aspect ratio they're in. 239. So we have 2391, we have 241, we have 24, we have 135. Christmas Horror Story is 185. That's another one that's in 185. This is a really good movie, by the way. If you guys haven't seen it, go watch it. I mean, there's just so many aspect ratios to movies. If you're collecting films, the best thing you can do, honestly, is to just stick with, if your projector is 16 by 9, get a 16:9 screen. If your projector is 16:10, get 16 by 10 screen. 241. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of movies in 241, but there are a lot that aren't. And it's just gonna make your experience look like shit. The Leprechaun Collection. Okay, here's another aspect ratio. 1:781 for the Leprechaun movies. So, yet another movie collection you can't watch on your 2:4 screen. 1:781 for the Leprechaun Returns. And there's some plastic there. So, there are a multitude of aspect ratios for movies. 1:781, 1:85. What was it? Yeah, 1:85. 2:41, 2:40. 1:35, 1:37. There's just so many fucking aspect ratios. And it's not all in 2:4. And so buying a 2:4 screen, in my opinion, is one of the dumbest fucking things you can do. Even if you're just watching movies, don't get a 2:4 screen. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video.